Hoops New Mexico Basketball Courts is coming to Albuquerque soon. 10 full basketball courts and a whole lot more. For more information, contact Dan Serrano at hoopsnm@aybl.com.
Don't forget, every Proview Network sporting event is on sale at our DVD store. Go to www.proviewnetworks.com to buy your DVD today.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show. Special guest today is Buster Mabry, New Mexico High School Association. I think I messed it up. But
Coaches Association.
It's just too much for me to compliment. I played a couple days, one day of golf, and it's my brain's a little bit dead.
It was a warm day though yesterday. It's okay.
That was a great day for the MMA to have that that foundation, and it was a good cause. But
you know it was a great day. It was really nice. It's fun to get out there and see a lot of people you don't get to see very often. And
sorry
and
I messed up your foursome, but that's okay.
That's okay. You did mess up our foursome, but we did okay. We did okay.
I tell you.
We got a young hotshot out there, Sean Schreier's kid, Zach Schreier, and so that young hotshot, he carried the team, so we did okay.
Well, every time I went up to the hole and on the the closest to the pin, and he was right there, and that's I was like, but the thing about it, and I looked at y'all's scorecard, and y'all didn't birdie the holes. I mean,
we didn't birdie all of them, but we got them close sometimes. I tell you what, I was the best putter yesterday on the golf course that didn't actually put the ball in the hole. I could get right beside it all day long, but it just never seemed to go in.
I saw something, and I've golfed a lot, okay, over the years, okay. You've seen them go around and go in, okay?
Yes, sir.
This thing here went like 1.5 times. It went in. I was like, it just kept going around like a basketball, around, and then it dropped in, and that was the first time I had seen that ever happen. So
that's probably because those greens are so elevated. You got to the other side and just picked up momentum coming back around.
I tell you what, if anybody hadn't golfed at Canyon and golf. I don't want to mess that up too. It's Canyon Club in Fort Hills.
Yeah.
And I tell you, you better know how to putt. I mean,
you better know how to putt, and if it looks uphill, it's not. And I mean, that's just that simple.
And the greens are fast, and I mean, people barely touch that thing; it would be off the green. But
in no time. But we had a great time. It was a great golf course. It was beautiful out there. The NMAA did a great job. Dusty Young for the NMAA, he really put on a class act, and
I'm proud of that, Buster. I don't know if you knew that, but I started that 11 years ago. That was we started. Yeah, I started with the foundation 11 years ago, and two things that still is active was that golf tournament, and then also the bowling tournament.
Yeah,
so those are the two things. And
that's actually the two big events, Steve.
And those are two of the biggest money makers for them. So
no, it is. They're two biggest events they have for the foundation, and they do a good job with it. And I do remember when you guys started that up. I still remember the first time y'all walked in there as a crew and you were starting this company, Proview Networks, and everybody was dressed really nice ties. I don't remember you having a tie. I don't remember you having a tie on, but everybody else looked rich and expensive. That's kind of the way it looked. But I do remember those days.
That's funny that I get back. Our paths are similar. You started, 9-10 years ago, and this is the 10th year of Proview Networks. So.
That's interesting. We did start at the same time, and I had barely been there, and I just remember you guys all coming in and talking about it, and I had worked with a previous company, so I hadn't been very impressed with them, but so I was really interested in who was coming in, and it was you guys, and y'all have done a fantastic job. I mean, it's about people caring about sports and kids in New Mexico, and I think you guys do an excellent job of that.
Well, you made the comments a lot. The coaches are like my buddies. I mean, it's not not like I admire, and everybody that's around the coaches and the athletics, even principals, just the whole athletics has really made you and I. I mean, and when I talk with you, it's you go back to your, you go back to your junior high days. I mean, and you remember every one of those coaches. You remember your wins and losses, and you remember.
Absolutely. I remember Coach Bob Ballard. I can still draw up his press that we used in 9th grade, and I've been trying to get my wife to run it for several years, and she won't. But coaches impacted and changed my life. There's no way that I would be as successful of a person as I am without my coaches. And a lot of things you do with coaches, Steve, a lot of people don't recognize. And one of those stories is about the time that you took a videotape to a coach who just won a state championship, or one that had just lost a state championship, and you go and you see those guys and you let them know that you appreciate what they've done, and you're good about that. And it really is neat, and I think you guys do a good job. You personally do a good job, and don't forget, man, I remember you being in our coaching clinics all those years, hanging out with the coaches, you know what I mean? So that's a good deal.
I think that's, I haven't missed one in almost 11 years, and we'll probably have another show about that.
That's okay.
We have Jim Holzman that comes in. You're busy running around and doing your thing, and I bring in Jim Holzman, and we break it down in detail because it doesn't get any better with Jim Holzman. I got something with you. I got to reverse it because you and I both went to Jim Holzman thing. What a great thing that was.
Yes, it was. Saturday night. Yes, it was.
And he said a story, and it just hit me that do you wake up Lori in the middle of the night and ask her that she lost the game because she wasn't? She didn't know.
I don't anymore.
I mean, I just thought, but it's a reversal role.
Yeah, one of the mistakes I made, because I am passionate about watching my wife's team play and watching her play. I've said it's been one of my toughest roles as an educator. I've been a coach, an official, an administrator, those type of things. One of my most difficult roles is to watch her teams play, and there's a lot of emotion in there that it's hard to handle sometimes. But one night, first couple of years, we're walking out of Cibola High School, and the parking lot's completely empty, the gym's completely empty, and it's just her and I walking out like most coaches and their spouses, and we're getting to the outside door, and I have my arm around her, and they had won, but I looked at her and I told her, I don't really understand your substitution pattern. I will never do that again, because I got told really quick it didn't matter what I thought or didn't think. She was a by gosh head coach.
So now you're just a great husband, and you're a great fan of the deal.
I say yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That's what I said.
I had to bring that up because it was funny, because I figured that you had some stories.
No, Coach Holzman's story the other night was absolutely fantastic, and I've even talked to Mary Lois about that same thing before, about how my most difficult role is to be a spouse, and when I've started saying that lately over the last couple of 3 years, several spouses talk about it. They've talked about how they've got to set away from the crowd. They got to set away from the fans, because
and we just got to keep you away from the refs.
We got to keep me away from the refs. I mean, and I've been doing a much better job the last couple of years. I only got in trouble one time last year, and I probably deserved that. But yeah, it's difficult to be a spouse and go to the games, and because people are emotional, they're excited, and it's a lot of fun, and they're saying things. But truth be told, a lot of times those words hurt. They hurt, and I know Mary Lois has been through it. I know several spouses have. I've heard a lot of stories. Judge Chavez got him a pretty solid girlfriend these days, and it's fun to listen to him talk about it and her talk about it, because she's kind of new to the whole athletic gig. And but being a spouse is a little bit different. And Coach Holzman brought that home the other night with that story.
And it just dawned on me just a second ago, and I thought, you know what? I want to hear the reversal, because that was, I mean, things have changed, and there wasn't, when I was growing up, there wasn't, the only women coach, volleyball just started when I was, so women were just really, and there was women track, but I'm just saying, really, that's when Title IX started taking off, and I forget that, the wives have spouses that they have to, and I look at it, and you don't miss a game. You go to every game. You watch,
You know, and I live every game. I live every game through her, and much like probably every spouse throughout coaching across the country have lived, regardless of the level, they probably live those games with their husband or their wife. But you are right. I mean, being a male and having a female spouse, first and foremost, she doesn't need me to take care of her in any way. None whatsoever. She doesn't.
She's self-sufficient.
She's just fine. It's interesting. I don't know if I ever thought that I needed to take care of her. I don't know if I ever had that mentality, but there were probably times where, as a man, and I hope this is not inappropriate, I thought maybe I needed to step in.
Right.
But,
No, that's a natural.
Yeah.
That's just something the men do. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And I will tell you, I don't need to be doing that. Ever. For several reasons. Number one, it's not my place. Number two, she doesn't need it. And she's, I believe, one of the top coaches in the state of New Mexico. And she's done that on her own completely without me. So,
and let's go one step. You've got one. She's one of the best high school players ever in New Mexico.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. I mean, we're going to talk about All-Stars today, but she was an All-Star in 1986. She played for the North team. She played on that Kirtland Central team they won 3 state championships, and then she even went back there as a assistant coach and part of 4 more state championships. I mean, every time they recognize state champions on the pit, you know, during the state tournament, my wife's always on the floor, you know, because she's been involved with so many state championships that it's actually pretty neat. It's pretty amazing, and she still has a passion for the game and the kids. Last night they had their team camp, and she was talking about having all these young kids and how much fun it is to take these young kids, and you know, she's worried about their skills, and that's really what she focuses on. So yeah, she's outstanding athlete, 4-year college basketball player, and great teacher. She's just a true educator, and I'm really proud of her.
Well, Buster, we're going to go to Dave and Buster's top 10 plays of the week, and we're going to come back and talk. We're going to actually talk about what we came here to talk about.
All-Star extravaganza, yes, sir.
Hey Lobo fans, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Samantha.
Jaguar Land Rover Albuquerque has been a family-owned business since 1988. The 2017 Jaguar F-Pace has been named the winner of the 2017 World Car of the Year and World Car Design of the Year.
Land Rover's signature terrain response system is flawless against any curveball New Mexico weather can throw at you.
We have a class-leading extended warranty on all Jags and Land Rovers and one of the greatest pre-owned inventories in the state of New Mexico.
Call 505-797-3600 to schedule a test drive.
The Barley Room, a proud sponsor of Proview Networks for over 9 years, is pleased to introduce Black Iron Catering. From weddings and family reunions to birthdays and office parties, Black Iron Catering is perfect for any event. Contact Jamie at 505-459-8259 and book your event today. Black Iron Catering. Let us bring our kitchen to you.
For 55 years, people have bought trucks from Tillery in Los Lunas. We have a great selection of vehicles, the quality service department, and some of the best deals in the state. But most importantly, we found people prefer to buy trucks from people who actually drive trucks.
Tillery is a proud supporter of Proview Sports Network. Locally owned and operated, located in Los Lunas, right off I-25, exit 203. Gecko's Bar and Tapas, a proud supporter of Proview Networks. It's been a fan favorite spot for food lovers and sports fans. With not one, but two great locations, including outdoor patio, an atmosphere you won't want to miss. Gecko's off Academy and in Nob Hill. Visit the Frontier Restaurant. Due to heavy construction on Central, take lead or coal coming north or south. The Frontier Restaurant. Get your Frontier fix on.
Sure, you could get him a new car. You could also light a pile of money on fire. So maintaining this old car is your best option. Keep it running longer, stronger, with quality parts and a whole lot of Napa know-how.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Hey, welcome back to the Steve Davis Show. We've got Buster Mabry, the Executive Director of New Mexico High School Coaches Association.
Yes, sir. That's right.
I'm getting better.
You are getting better. You're getting better.
Well, let's talk about let's talk about what's happening. I mean, this is your time to shine.
It's a big week. It's the All-Star Extravaganza week, and it truly is an All-Star Extravaganza. We got 2 football games going on this week. The 3A, 4A. North versus South game will be Friday night at Community Stadium. On Saturday night, we got the 6-man through 2A North versus South All-Star game, and that is Saturday night. And then we have volleyball All-Stars checking in today. There's 72 of them, and we'll have 3 games, and that'll be Thursday night at La Cueva. And that's really kind of exciting. That's good stuff. Go and watch those volleyball athletes. And then on tomorrow, we have 1A, 2A, and 5A, 6A North versus South girls basketball check-in, and they'll play Friday night at Cibola High School, starting at 6 and 8. And then on Thursday, we're going to have 3A, 4A boys and girls basketball checking in, softball North versus South, 1 through 4A, 5A, 6A, both checking in, baseball 1 through 4A North and South checking in, and then we have tennis checking in, and they'll play all their matches on Friday and Saturday night. So on Friday night, we will have softball, baseball, basketball, tennis, and football going on all at the same time.
Don't remind me.
All across everywhere.
And we're only thing, I think we're not doing tennis. So I mean, just saying, we're doing. And that's probably not a good thing to say on air, but I'm just saying. But I want to get it out there. I don't want to get in trouble. I might as well get up front right now.
We'll get there with tennis. We're not quite there yet, but we are a little bit more advanced with some of the other games as far as getting the logistics put together and doing it for a period of time over years. But we're excited about it. It's a great thing. I mean, one of the neat things we do with this, Steve, is that we want to highlight multiple sport athletes. We always talk about multiple sport athletes, but most of the time we think about it as a multiple sport athlete is someone who plays football during football season, basketball during basketball season, or baseball or track or whatever it might be during that season. We don't think about them playing multiple sports in one setting. And this weekend, we probably have 20 plus athletes that are playing football one night, basketball the next night, or they're going to go to a football game, then playing a doubleheader the next day. And that's really exciting, I think, because I think it's important that we promote multiple sport athletes. New Mexico has really done a good job across our state in getting these athletes to perform in more than one sport, and we highlight those guys during this week. So we're really excited about it. A parent can come to town. What's really neat about the All-Star Extravaganza is that a parent can come to town, and that parent can go watch volleyball on one night, go watch their kid play on Friday night, watch their friends from the same school on Saturday morning. So by coming in one location, we have all these games, and it really does provide an outstanding opportunity for parents and fans to see all these kids in one area.
Well, you got me. One point I wanted, that's all great, but I just want to talk about you for just, and maybe you don't even remember this, but we met, 10 years, and it took a while for us to get to, to be able to talk, but I remember sitting with you, and I just said, what's your plans for the deal? And you dictated this to me 10 years ago, and there was a lot of things that you had to overcome because there was some of these were played in different cities, and they bid it out, and it's hard for you to be to get that through your board members and the whole thing, but it was a reality that is really the best. I think it's unbelievable. I mean, there's some. If you're one of them in another town, you're going to maybe disagree with that. But from the overall deal, see, Albuquerque is the center of the state. Yeah. And what you've done with the facilities and getting all of the deal, and it's their last hurrah. Yes, sir. For a lot of these, and some are going to move on, but a lot of them, this is their last.
Easily 95%. This is it. I mean, they all go to recreation sports after this, and in football, you really don't have recreation football beyond high school. I mean, a lot of these guys play sand volleyball, they play in basketball leagues, and baseball and softball, and slow pitch softball, and things like that. They get to keep competing. But yeah, 10 years ago when we came on board, we had a situation where we were running out of the office. We were running, I think, volleyball, big school football, and big school basketball, and the small school basketball game. And all these other games were everywhere else. And everyone was being treated differently. Some of them were being treated better than others because of money. And what would happen also is after 3 or 4 years in a community, you've almost worn out your resources. And these games aren't as easy as people think to put on. And so from the very beginning, I did imagine bringing all these games together under the guise of the New Mexico High School Coaches Association, and treating everybody exactly the same. Everybody gets the same benefit, the same opportunity. We have better control of the money because our money is accounted for, and I thought we owed that back to our membership and our board of directors. And it's been a long time coming. And there were some staple games. I mean, Las Vegas, New Mexico did a great job. They did a great job with that 3A football and basketball games. They really did. I mean, Louis Baeza down in Lordsburg did a great job with that small school football game. So we had a lot of good things going on, but they were in different weekends, and you had a parent that would go to one game one weekend and the next weekend have to drive 250 miles to see their kid play again. And our board of directors understood that vision, and they accepted that vision, and we've slowly brought this thing together. So what we started off with me running, or our office running 3 or 4 games, we're now running 17 out of the 18, and the only game we do not have is 5A, 6A North-South baseball that's been down in Las Cruces for 43 years.
And a great job. They
do a great job. I mean, Bob Ogas is he's a mentor, he's a legend, he's everything you want to give him as far as accolades go. And they're still doing a great job down there. But we feel like it's best that, number one, parents can come one time this weekend, and they can see all these kids play. These kids can still play in multiple sports. We've not had that in the past. And if the games are at one time in one location, you had to choose either football or basketball or football or baseball. You couldn't play both. And we've tried to integrate a new philosophy into that. And I feel like we got it going on. I really do. Our crowds are up. They really are. We're getting bigger crowds because we're getting people that were normally separated coming to the different games. It seems like lately that wherever we're at, that community of that school seems to identify with the game, and we're getting really good crowds. And it's about seeing these kids. I mean, these are the best, not only the best athletes in New Mexico across all classifications and all sports, but these are our best kids in New Mexico. I mean, you don't make this game unless you're respected, and you got to have coaches beyond your own coach raise their hand and say, I vote for that guy, or I vote for that young lady. And that is really good stuff for our kids.
Well, let's kind of break this down. We'll go to Josh here, and we'll go into the volleyball. We'll go on order here. On volleyball, it's Thursday, June 8th. I want to bring this up real quick because I know this is one of your big things on your phone ringing all the time is price of the tickets and where do you get them and how do you get them? Can you buy them at the deal? Can you buy them online? We
only sell tickets at the gate. And so you can get there. We open up the gates about an hour before game time. So if the game starts at 4 o'clock, we're going to open that gate about 3:15. Tickets are $7 for adults, and they're $4 for youth, elementary, down lower. They have that all figured out. I don't remember the exact number, but it is $7 for adults, and that gets you into all 3 ball games. And we've never sold an event out except one time. The year we had Bryce Alford and Cullen Neal is the only time we've sold something out, and even then we didn't pre-sale.
And that was good for Proview Networks. That was one time.
I'm sure.
No, it was you didn't, because you were there, but I'm just saying you didn't. People they turned them away, and they had to go. They found places we had them streaming, or we had them in established. And we're telling people, go over here and watch them.
That was a tough night, Steve. It really was. I mean, we had a huge crowd. We knew we were going to have a huge crowd, and
that was tough for you.
We had lines out the door at Albuquerque High, and what people don't realize is there's a fire marshal there. And I don't want to ever fight with the fire marshal because they're kind of mean.
They just shut you down.
Yeah, they shut you down. And trust me, the guy wasn't speaking to me softly. He was telling me, this is it, you're done.
And that's not good. That's something you're not used to.
No, and it's just, and that was at Albuquerque High, and Doug Dorme was absolutely fantastic. That night, Albuquerque High itself was great, but we had to turn people away, and it was tough. It really was. But volleyball is at La Cueva on Thursday night, 4, 6, and 8. We're going best out of 5, so they're guaranteed to get.
Those are high energy. I mean, if you don't, this is like they're playing for like the state championship.
Volleyball might be.
It sets the stage for the week. I'm telling you.
Oh, it does. Volleyball just might be the most intense, get after it, high energy all-star event we have. I mean, it really is. And boy, you get that many talented athletes on a floor in such a small area, and things start happening like that. It really is. Go to the volleyball game. I mean, it's well worth $7 of entertainment.
I tell you, then we're going to jump right here to football, and 6-man 2As on Saturday, and 3A, 4As on the other. She's putting it up right there on the brackets, and
Community Stadium's such a great place to play.
You know what? It's unbelievable. People that hadn't been out there, I mean, it's like a bowl. It's similar to Artesia.
I mean, look at that photo on TV right now. That's a gorgeous place to play. Our All-Stars love to play in that stadium. They love practicing there this week. And especially these small school kids that don't play in that big of a facility year in and year out, they absolutely love it. They love being on that turf. Now, I told them yesterday when the 3A, 4A checked in, and I always make this joke, it's fun to play on the turf inside the stadium at night. from 1 to 4 in the afternoon.
I was going to just bring that up because
1 to 4 in the afternoon, it's hot.
Well, you've been there. I mean,
Yeah.
One thing about Proview, I just kind of mosey right up onto that press box.
Right, yeah.
It's the nicest press box.
Yeah, it's a nice press box. It's probably even cooler than that press box. But it's hard. We have to be,
refrigerated air.
I'm telling you, we have to be very aware of the athletes. One thing that we also do is we bring in the best athletic trainers in the state of New Mexico. I mean, we use Jeff Archuleta. He's the president of the New Mexico Athletic Trainers Association. And we have staple guys that work with us every year across all these events. And we really want to take good care of these athletes, especially in that hot sun.
Well, Buster, we're going to get back to this, but we're going to go to a little break here, but then we're going to come back and talk more about
Let's do it.
High school all-star games.
High school kids need coaches.
Don't forget, every Proview Network sporting event is on sale at our DVD store. Go to www.proviewNetworks.com to buy your DVD today.
Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either he's Lord of all or he is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know him and follow his teachings, #life change will occur.
Hoops New Mexico Basketball Courts is coming to Albuquerque soon. 10 full basketball courts and a whole lot more. For more information, contact Dan Serrano at hoopsnm@aybl.com.
Altitude Sports Grill is where Albuquerque's sports fans won't miss a game. With locally crafted brews on tap and refreshingly crisp cocktails. Located in Hotel Cascada, Albuquerque residents find a staycation worth staying for. Catching Lobo sports, enjoying a beer on the beach, or wiping out, Hotel Cascada is home to your urban adventure. Affordable guest rooms, no-hassle water park parties, and much more.
Garden Sort's Team Sales is a proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Get into the game. Garden Schwartz Team Sales features fine products and apparel from Wilson, Schutt Sports, Speedline, and Russell Athletics. We offer custom embroidery and screen printing services for all of your school or club needs, from team uniforms to school letter jackets. Specializing in all sports and serving all communities, from big schools to small schools, from up north to down south, or all points in between. Garden Schwartz Team Sales. For great prices, friendly staff, and quality products, call Garden Schwartz Team Sales today at 1-800-880-7767. That's 1-800-880-7767. Since 1939, Garden Schwartz Team Sales is a proud supporter of New Mexico youth athletics.
Car Crafters, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters! It's like it never happened!
Hey, welcome back to Steve Davis. We've got Buster Mabry, Executive Director of New Mexico High School Coaches Association. That's two in a row.
Hey, you're doing well, man. We got one more break after we get to this.
I don't know if I can handle that. So.
That'd be a good free throw shooter. 75% is not bad.
I tell you, boys basketball, girls basketball. That's basically.
Friday and Saturday night, yeah. We got that Friday and Saturday night. They're both at Cibola High School. So you have the 1A, 2A girls, north and south at 6 p.m. And then we come back with the big school, 5A, 6A at 8 p.m. We got some pretty good athletes participating in that. And then we got boys starting at 6 o'clock on Saturday and girls starting at 8 o'clock on Saturday night, the girls 3A, 4A. And what's interesting about this game, Steve, is 7 years ago when I took over, when John Lemazny gave up girls basketball, 1A, 2A, 5A, 6A in Gallup, we brought it here. We took that game to Highland High School. And honestly, we had maybe 100 people show up and see that game. And that was pretty much parents. You know, because you have 48 athletes, each bringing 2 people, that's 100. And I think our gate was somewhere less than $1,000. And so we started this team camp in conjunction, and it's the All-Star Extravaganza Team Camp. And we have 56 teams in that, girls basketball teams from across New Mexico. So that's also going on Friday and Saturday. And what those kids do is everybody comes up here, they play in that team camp, and then all those teams go watch those All-Star games on Friday and Saturday night. And it's given us a great crowd. We're getting a large gate that night. We're getting kids are bringing in. They're writing on signs and they're really supporting their athletes, and it's a lot of fun. And year in and year out, what we do is they play in pool play on Friday, and then Saturday they qualify into brackets. And I'm going to tell you right now, that top bracket is a preview of the state championship game next March. It has been. If you're one of the top teams in New Mexico, you want to participate in this All-Star Extravaganza team camp. And I'll tell you right now, I'll tell you on Sunday who are going to be 2 of the top 4 teams that are going to make it to the semifinals and above. I'm going to give you an example. West Mesa last year got to the championship game. And everybody this year thought West Mesa came out of nowhere. They didn't come out of nowhere. We all watched it go down at the All-Star Extravaganza last year. And Carlsbad, they played Carlsbad. West Mesa played Carlsbad at Santa Ana Star Center last year for the All-Star Extravaganza Team Camp Championship. And lo and behold, who were probably 2 of our best teams in the state this year was Carlsbad and West Mesa. So that's a really exciting event. And what's really neat is if those teams have someone in the All-Star game, they go show up and support them. And it's really been a nice promotion for girls basketball in New Mexico.
A couple of things I want to hit on real quick, Buster, is that going back to what you were saying about seeing who's going to be in the finals. That's something when you were doing the coaches poll, it was like 5-6 years ago. You would say, Steve, look, these coaches at the beginning, you always look at the beginning of the year, and like maybe that team wasn't doing very good. But then at the end of the year, I mean, Clovis was a perfect, right. And they were, or even Las Cruces, but they had some injuries, they had some things. These guys get healthy, and then all of a sudden, right. Those teams that in your polls showed up later in the year. You know what? Those coaches know. Our coaches in New Mexico are outstanding coaches, and they really know who's coming, who's playing where, and they have a good idea of who's going to be good. There's nobody better in our state that can give you the pulse of athletics in any sport and or classification in New Mexico than coaches, than high school coaches. I mean, I value those guys so much. I think they do such an outstanding job for our kids in our state, and they know what's going on. So our coaches polls, when we were doing them, they were right on the money. We just only took it to the top 10, and at that point in time, they were putting 16 teams in. So, and it was a lot of work, and then the NMAA went to max prep, so we got out of the poll business. But when we were doing them, there was no doubt that our coaches knew what was going on. And the other part is to see you said 100 people came to the first game. Well, you better get there and deal. I mean, because you better get there because that thing fills up. And again, going back to you got to buy the ticket at the deal. So those lines get big. I watched it. I mean, they do get big. Everybody thinks they're just going to show up 5 minutes before the game, and then sometimes there's actually people that have missed this. This is not a 6A Albuquerque high school girls basketball game. It is not. I'm saying you're playing 3 games, and even in volleyball, a lot of those people in the last game are coming in the beginning. So,
Yeah,
so you're getting that crowd too.
And what will happen with that is this: you get the 1A, 2A, and then the 3A, 4A kid, parents come in. Well, everybody wants to hang around and watch that next game. So really, no one leaves. And then about halfway through the 3A, 4A game, you start getting the 5A, 6A game. And you might lose some of the stragglers in 1A, 2A, but for the most part, they now want to watch the 5A, 6A. And when that 5A, 6A game starts, we have a big crowd, and it's a lot of fun.
A lot of energy. Let's just move on to the boys basketball and pull that up there for us, Josh. And that's girls.
That's boys and girls. We do the 3A, 4A together. And the reason why we do that is because if you remember right, 3A used to be by itself. And so we kind of kept some tradition in all this. And when we combine these classifications, we try to, that's the only game that we have boys and girls matched up like that together is in the 3A, 4A, which is going to be exciting because we got to make changes next year, Steve. Going back to 5 classifications, I don't know how that's going to play out for All-Stars in New Mexico, but we've got some work ahead of us in that regard.
Well, you got a year to figure it out, so you got some time.
We do. We're going to follow the NMA lead and take about a year too.
Right. So that's awesome, and then. Then we're moving right on to the softball. Here we go. That's
softball. We
pull that stat up there. Pull that up.
We have at Cleveland High School, their softball fields, probably the best facilities in the state of New Mexico in regards to softball fields. We got the 1A, 4A, and we also have the 5A, 6A, and both of those groups are playing 3 games, and they start on Friday afternoon. They're going to go at they're going to go at 2 and 4, and then we're going to have a home run derby at 6, and then at 8 o'clock we're going to have another game, and they come back and they do 3 games on Saturday. And that's a lot of fun too, because them girls are good, man. I mean, softball in New Mexico is pretty good, and really softball is one of those events where we don't lose a lot of kids. I mean, for the most part, we have about a 95% attrition rate for softball. Those softball players show up and they want to play.
Well, I tell you one thing, that home run derby, it's pretty, I mean, the internet spreads quickly on that. My phone blows up if I'm not there at the game. Watching other people, I'm like, who's leading, who's there? Because you got, everybody's competing. That's one thing, you get to show your skills, and maybe just might draw attention of somebody outside.
Being the big bomber, being the big bomber. What's interesting about that is old Angel Castillo usually does the pitching. This year, I think we need 2 pitchers because I don't think old Angel can hit it. His arm gets worn out. Them girls are just knocking that ball out, and it's a lot of fun. I mean, Kevin Worth from Piedra Vista runs that event for us, and he comes down. He's a true softball guy. I was hoping to get the UNM job, but I don't think that went down that way. But he's a good guy. He makes all that look good out there.
And then the last event is basically baseball. I mean, no, it's not the last event, but the last one we're going to get to is baseball. And again, it's on Friday and Saturday, and it's right up here on the screen.
Friday, Saturday. Our first game's on Friday night.
Rio Rancho in Cleveland.
Yeah, it's at Rio Rancho, and our first game is on Friday night, and it'll start at 7 o'clock. And they also have a home run derby. It starts at 6 o'clock, and it goes on before they start those events. And that's out at Rio Rancho. And Rio Rancho does a great job. A gentleman, Artie Sanchez from down in Cobre, has run that event. Artie's the one that's the father of our home run derby. He got that started when he was running the event down in Cobre. And when we brought that game into the All-Star Extravaganza, Artie, he agreed to stay on and run that event, which has been a blessing to the New Mexico High School Coaches Association. He's the type of guy, if you don't know who Artie Sanchez is from Cobre High School, he's the head coach down there. You need to get to know him. He's one of the finer gentlemen in our state and really does care about New Mexico baseball. His son is actually playing in the 3A, 4A football game on Friday night, and then coming back and playing in the baseball game on Saturday morning and afternoon. So, well, it's a great event. Rio Rancho comes out for it. Last year we had the bleachers full, and it was a good crowd, so we appreciate the community of Rio Rancho supporting that game also.
Well, I'm looking at this, and if my math is correct, 13 games. It's a lot. It's a lot. More than that, check this out. We got 540 athletes. So if you add the 540 North-South All-Star athletes, then you add 56 teams at an average of 10, 12
people per team. That's another 560, 600 plus athletes. So the New Mexico High School Coaches Association is bringing over 1,100 people to the community of the metro areas this weekend with these 13 different events, 13 different games. And, you know, I think we're doing 500 hotel nights that we're paying for. And, I mean, I'm sure we got another 200 or 300 room nights from parents. So it's not only a great event, an all-star event, but it's really good for the metro area. It's a big event. I think it's in the top 10 event in Albuquerque throughout the year. I don't know of a lot of other events other than the big ones. You know, the Blue Fiesta, the state basketball tournament, the track and field meet, the Great Southwest.
I was just looking at it. You're right. It's
a large event. I mean, and we appreciate both the Convention and Visitors Bureau in Rio Rancho and the Convention and Visitors Bureau here in Albuquerque. They both support this event tremendously, and we appreciate that. And we do get good crowds because of the central location. And we've talked about this before. And it's an ongoing issue in New Mexico. It has been for a long time about centrally located state championships versus in other areas. And you know me, I got different philosophies on that depending on the sport and the event, I guess. But the state supports us, the community supports us, and we couldn't do it without those entities.
Well, we're going to come back. We're going to kind of recap everything and see what's going to happen this week.
All right, good deal.
Hey Lobo fans, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Samantha.
Jaguar Land Rover Albuquerque has been a family-owned business since 1988. The 2017 Jaguar F-Pace has been named the winner of the 2017 World Car of the Year and World Car Design of the Year.
Land Rover's signature terrain response system is flawless against any curveball New Mexico weather can throw at you.
We have a class-leading extended warranty on all Jags and Land Rovers and one of the greatest pre-owned inventories in the state of New Mexico.
Call 505-797-3600 to schedule a test drive.
The Barley Room, proud sponsor of Proview Networks for over 9 years, is pleased to introduce Black Iron Catering. From weddings and family reunions to birthdays and office parties, Black Iron Catering is perfect for any event. Contact Jamie at 505-459-8259 and book your event today. Black Iron Catering. Let us bring our kitchen to you.
For 55 years, people have bought trucks from Tillery in Los Lunas. We have a great selection of vehicles, the quality service department, and some of the best deals in the state. But most importantly, we found people prefer to buy trucks from people who actually drive trucks.
Tillery is a proud supporter of Proview Sports Network. Locally owned and operated, located in Los Lunas, right off I-25, exit 203. Gecko's Bar and Tapas, a proud supporter of Proview Networks. It's been a fan favorite spot for food lovers and sports fans. With not one, but 2 great locations, including outdoor patio. An atmosphere you won't want to miss. Gecko's off Academy and in Nob Hill. Visit the Frontier Restaurant. Due to heavy construction on Central, take lead or coal coming north or south. The Frontier Restaurant. Get your Frontier fix on.
Sure, you could get him a new car. You could also light a pile of money on fire. So maintaining this old car is your best option. Keep it running longer, stronger, with quality parts and a whole lot of Napa know-how.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Hey, welcome back to Steve Davis Show. Special guest again is Buster Mabry.
Thank you.
And what a great great morning, and this thing just flies by. Man.
It always flies by, and it'll fly by all week.
And your phone, you know what I think? Your phone's blowing up. And
my phone blows up all the time.
If anybody that was calling at this time, they know why. He can multitask at the same time. So.
You know what's funny about that is if they are seeing me, or they still keep calling me. Come on, man, give me a break. But that phone just rolls. It does. A lot of parents being concerned about their kids, wanting to know, certain practice times, and we get. You know what's interesting about this extravaganza? We do 36 head coaches every summer. And so this week,
and you know what? I didn't try to make you remember every one of them and come up. I saved you on that. Now you brought it up now. So
I think I could go there. Test me out, but I think I can.
Well, let's go down at that.
Okay,
let's do that. Okay?
Now remember, there's like 26 plus assistant coaches and all the workers and everything else.
So let's go. Let's
test me out on this. Let's see what I do.
We'll just start with volleyball. We'll start with volleyball because he's got them in order here.
And he starts with the hardest one. But 5A, 6A will be Keith Leopold, and he's from Las Cruces High School. He's one of our long outstanding coaches in New Mexico. And then we have Dawn C. DeBaca from Volcano Vista. She will be the North coach. So that's the 5A, 6A. On the 3A, 4A, we got Anita Rodriguez from Taos. She is going to be the North coach. And then in the South coach, I'll tell you that in a second. Then in 1A, 2A, we got Dawn. I have a hard time with her last name, Cuchta, and she's coming from down south. And then up in the north, we have Jacqueline Sanchez from Mora. And I've forgotten the 3A, 4A south, but I'm going to get it. I'll come back to it, but I'm going to get it.
You're doing good. So we're just going to move on to the next. We're just going to go up the hill here. And 1A, 4A softball.
1A, 4A softball. 1A, 4A softball. I know that. This will be easy here in a second. We have in the north, we have Daryl Hotsoy from Thoreau, New Mexico, and then in the south, we have in the small school, we have a young coach down out of Loving. And Jordan McElroy is his name. And then in the big school, we have Art Sandoval. He's a pretty great guy from Roswell, New Mexico. And in the north, we have, for the 5A, 6A, we have Gene Victor from Cibola High School, and that's softball.
That's not fair because he just called. So
he did. He's at the office right now needing something. Yeah. But I know Gene. Gene's a good one, man.
All right. How about football? 6-man?
6-man through 2A in the south. Well, first off, we got a unique situation in the north. We're using 2 coaches, the co-head coach, because they needed some time to work. So we got Mason McBee out of door, and believe it or not, we have Caleb Aldridge from Jowl. He's going to coach the north team. We the way it worked out this year, we didn't have, a lot of coaches didn't have scheduling conflicts and things like that. So we had to use some southern coaches to coach the north. And then in the south, 6-man through 2A, Brandon Devine out of Hondo, New Mexico. Him and his crew's coming up.
Unbelievable job he's done.
Oh, Brandon.
Him and Lake Arthur. It's his
him and Jose both. They're very good friends and good men that are great for kids, and they live in those small communities, and they thrive with their teams, and quality people. Quality coaches, quality people, quality educators.
Well, 5A, 6A?
5A, 6A, girls basketball, right?
No, football. We're in football.
Oh, we're in football. You're talking about down the road, July.
Yeah.
So 5A.
Excuse me. Well,
you threw me off a bit. I can still do this. So 5A, 6A football this year. We have mercy me. I should know this. I just hadn't thought about 5A, 6A football lately, but we got. Come back to that one.
Okay, we'll come back to that. We'll come back to that in a while.
I hadn't thought about 5A, 6A football.
Girls basketball games, 1A, 2A.
1A and 2A, we are going, we got Jimmy Samaniego from Jowl is going to be coaching the South. And then the 1A, 2A North. Oh, I should know. I know the 5A, 6A North is let's see, now my mind. Let's see, 5A, 6A South is going to be 5A, 6A Girls South. I can't believe my mind's going blank. I should know these guys.
Well, let's jump up to boys basketball, right? 1A, 2A then.
Oh, now you're shooting back into the back to July. I don't know right now. July, I don't know.
Oh, is that? Oh, yeah. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
Stay away from those July events.
Okay,
man.
well, then, how about 3A, 4A? That's the
3A, 4A boys and girls. We're gonna have Fern Spencer coach the girls north, and then the 3A, 4A south. Steve, you really did throw me on the spot here.
It's okay, Buster.
Okay, all right. You know what's funny is as soon as I say it, it's going to drive me nuts because I got their plaques.
Right.
I communicated with all of them. When you start trying to remember them all, it gets a little bit confused. Oh, Ricky McBroom is going to coach the boys south. Ricky McBroom. You know Coach McBroom, been around for a long time. He's a class act too, man. He'll be coaching the south, and Willie Owens will be coaching the north in 3A, 4A. Boys basketball. He's our incoming president. Willie was the Sandia Prep. He's now going to be the athletic director. And then go back to the girls. Fern Spencer's going to do the north, and then the south is going to be done by. Oh, mercy sakes! I can't remember that name. I'll think about it in a second.
All right, now last one. You're gonna is baseball, and I want to stay away from.
That one's easy. I can do baseball. 5A, 6A down south. We got Alan Edmondson is coaching the south 5A, 6A, and then the north is going to be coached by. It wasn't Gerard because Gerard was going to do it, and he couldn't do it this year. And we got Robert Padilla from Albuquerque High. And then in the small school 1 through 4A is going to be Miguel Quintanas from Taos, and the south is going to be Dusty Nusser from Charles Ward from Nimmy.
Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah, and I should remember those other ones.
And I was going to, it's been it's pretty funny. We've seen each other like 3 out of 4 days.
Yeah,
it was kind of funny today. It was like you said, well, I just saw him yesterday. I don't need to see him again.
Right?
What does he want?
Well, I saw your name pop up. I'm like, I ain't got anything done with Steve today. I got other things to do today, And sure enough, my phone rings. I'm like, oh, I know what that was. I'm supposed to be over at Proview. So I'm glad to be here, though. Wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Well, I tell you, well, it worked out. You got you got to eat breakfast. I mean, it all worked. You were very good. You did
well,
that.
I was at Lindy's. I'm not going to take a chance to pass on Lindy's. I'm telling you right now.
And you were really good about that. You knew where I was at.
I knew right where you were at.
You said, oh, well, by the way, I'll just come over there real quick.
I'll be right there. It's good stuff. Go to Lindy's if you get a chance in downtown Albuquerque.
I tell you, that was kind of special. I mean, here I'm sitting there, and then the chef and the deal comes out and makes sure that you're okay. And I've been sitting. I go in there every week, and I get no attention. So.
Oh, I'm sure you get plenty of attention over there.
Well, it was this has been. I really. People don't realize how hard you have worked to get this done. I mean, I want to say this to people because one, we talked about it a little earlier, is you're a one-man staff. I mean, you have a co-deal, but and everybody thinks, well, what do you do all year? And it's basically you're working to make it better and better every year. Go ahead.
Yeah, Steve, we are a one-man show. I mean, it's not a one-man show. Let me change that. I'm a staff of one. My board of directors is huge.
And like I said, I don't want to take away from what they do. But you don't have a secretary. You don't have this. You don't have somebody that you can, on a daily basis, say, all right, take care of this, this, and this. It's all on your plate.
I thank you, Steve. I appreciate that. I couldn't do it by myself, and we have one goal this week, and I tell every kid this, and I tell every coach this, and that goal is simply when those kids leave here at the end of their event, they're all shaking hands at the end of the game, I want them to look at their mother or their father and say, I'm glad I played. That is our goal. I'm glad I participated in this event, and I think we get that accomplished. Now, when we go to our big events like this week, we have some people that are tremendous for us. David Velasquez, He's getting our Distinguished Service Award this year. I mean, we can't do it. We couldn't do it without David this week. Matt Martinez, who's the legend of the Northeast, this is his last day on the job. And he was supposed to be, his last day was supposed to be Friday. He's retiring as an athletic director, but he's going to be here on Wednesday. And Alan Lockridge, the legendary Alan Lockridge. I mean, every year, Fern Spencer from Tohatchee. Now, these are big names I'm talking about, and they come in here and they help us run these events. We could not do it without them. Philip Martinez, we could not do it without him. He's a defensive coordinator over at Manzano. Class act. I have a lot of respect for him. He was our intern 3 years ago, and he's still giving back to this organization and kids in New Mexico. So, yeah, I'm in my office by myself throughout the year, but we are not, and I didn't mean to say that a while ago. I was kind of making the joke about a one-man show. We're not. We have outstanding boards of directors and people that care. And, you know, guys like Jim Halsman and Bobby Gibbs, and we can
just go down. I mean,
we can just go down. They're the reason why North versus South is real. It's a big deal. And, you know, we've been doing that for 73 years. So it's not about me. It's not even about the New Mexico High School Coaches Association. It is about North versus South. And it's an institution in our state. And these kids get to be a part of this institution. And these kids are, you know, sons and daughters of past All-Stars who are sons and daughters of previous All-Stars before that. And it becomes a family tradition, and people really work hard to get in those games because their aunts or their uncles or their mothers and their fathers participate in this game. So we take a tremendous amount of pride in that, and we hope to do well this week.
Well, Buster, hey, I appreciate everything you do, and let's go have some fun this week.
Let's go. I don't know why the volleyball coaches showed up to the volleyball coaches meeting, but we're going to take care of them here in about 15 minutes.
All right, sounds good.
Okay.